And we'll go to the first one here. We have one here from Jose. And oh boy, it's been a while. Hold on, let me adjust these screens a little bit. We'll take a look at the EXIF data. So EM1 Mark II with a 14 to 42 kit lens. We're at 42 millimeters, 1/200th at 5.6, ISO 640. So wow, that's surprising. It must have been a little dark. Based on these settings here, but okay. And we've got, oh, I forgot how to use my timer. Is it this one? Yeah. So we got a white bird here of some kind. Wow. I like it. You know, we got the corners lined up. We got the bird here, a little bit asymmetrical. We got this beautiful sand. I'm just gonna see if I can pop the color a little bit, maybe. And then let's take some of the green out and cool it off a little bit. And then pull the color back just a little. This is a TIFF file, so I'm not getting the full. I mean, TIFF files are supposed to be the same as RAW, but they're they're not really for some reason. Okay, that's looking good. The only thing I might do is crop a little bit to put the bird more somewhere. Let me see. Let's keep the 4x3. Maybe tilt it. Okay, let's push the midtones up a little bit. Then bring, I think we're okay. Colors are okay. Give it a little more contrast. Okay, that was a pretty easy one. So just a quick before and after. So very, very subtle. I don't know how to turn myself off anymore. It's been too long. There we go. Basically, I just cooled it off and took some of the greens out, so it's more blue. And then just a very slight crop, but yeah, I mean, it's a nice. The bird makes a nice little accent in the frame because we have basically a split, water and sand, and then a little accent with the bird, which is a nice touch. We don't need that much detail on the bird, really. I think the bird is serving its purpose in terms of composition, and that's it. It's just I'm just a little curious what the bird is looking at. I assume they see a fish or something, but the water's so turbulent, I can't imagine a bird would be fishing in water like that. But I guess why not? But okay, not bad. Let's go to the next one here. And oh, this has got to be Surge because I've seen this image either on your Flickr or in the forum. You had some really interesting presets that I saw in your you were talking about. The Surge was doing some presets, playing around with I guess Lightroom or something. Let's see, we have EM10 Mark II with a kit lens at 16 millimeters f5.6, 1/250th ISO 250. Through in a third. Yep, all good settings, as I would expect. So I'm gonna do something kind of similar. It's a little bit soft though. Where's your focus point? I feel like the focus point is a little bit too close. I'd have probably focused on this tree right here, which I actually probably did. Okay, let's sharpen this up a bit. It's just a tiny bit soft. And compositionally, I think maybe a vertical, just to give it a little bit taller kind of feel. You come up. Oh, hi, Garrett. um, I don't know, this side is a little bit too busy, so I'm just going to stay on this side of the frame. Keep most of this or half of this tree. Do a little bit more square. And okay, that feels about right. I'd have liked to have been a little bit lower in the frame, but all right, let's do a soft focus. The image is already kind of soft. And let me just eyeball. Let me just eyeball a black and white maybe. And then no, I like the color better. Just need some more. Just trying to compress the dynamic range a little bit. And I'm going to pull off some of the green. Up the red a tiny bit. No, I liked this was a better way to go. All right, I need more in the highlights. Let me see if clarity will. Really. And oh, I'm out of time. So all right, and then a vignette. I'll be done. Whoops, why? I didn't want to crop it like that. Uh, All right, I'm gonna call it right there. Wow, not my best work, but there's a before and after. So yeah, I pumped a lot of red into it and softened it up, and then the only problem I have with this composition is it's a little bit heavy on the right side, but it's like that when it's the frame is like that already. So I just went vertical to try to minimize it as much as I can. Because if I went portrait mode, it'd have been way too heavy, I think, on the right side. But okay, I think that works. I like this tree right in here. I wish I could have done more with that. I think, yeah, I think that's it. Whoops. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Let that render out. I think that looks pretty good compared to the before. Because over here it's a little bit flat, right? But okay, let's go to the next one. Uh, this looks like Todd Butcher. Okay. Wow, beautiful landscape. And we shot with a, let's see, EM1 with a 12 to 100, 18 millimeter f4, on 125th ISO 400. Okay. Wow, I gotta see if I can save these skies. The settings are not bad. The shutter speed's a little slower than I'd prefer, but um, let me just see where the tones are. I may not. I'm not going to use this filter. I don't think, but um, I just want to get a feel for all the tones. Okay, so do let's do a leveling first. And then let's do a 16 by 9. I think that works. Uh, okay, let's play with the tones a little bit. The haze should bring out some of the sky a little better. And we'll throw in some clarity to kind of specular the grass maybe a little bit. And I'm going to deal with this white balance here in a minute. It's this, I've just never seen a purple sky. Let me do that. I don't want to compress it too much. Okay, Lauren, I don't know why. Um, you'll have to manually set it for 1080p, I guess. Okay, that feels about right. And gradation auto, good. Um, Crank up the sharpness. This is all off. Need to remember to sit up straight so I don't mess up my neck again. Hey, Dawood, how are you? It's a long time no see. Uh, I'm at 2 minutes here. I got 2 minutes, so let me get rid of some of this noise. We did. Oh, seriously? You're not gonna crash on me, are you? All right. Just gonna push highlights back off the dehaze a little bit. All right, this purple, I like it, but then it just feels a little bit too surreal. Maybe I'll just warm it up to about 6,000, and that'll fix it for me. It'll let me. Not letting me change the white balance. Let me close workspace, dang it. Try this again. Let's see, we were on this one. Oh, my God. All right, no, we're there. We're there. This saved everything I did. It's just I need to put the dehaze back in. Change the white balance. I was trying 6,000, I think. My tone curve is still there. More straightening. A slight, let me try clarity. That's too much. We're okay down here. All right. I think I'll call it there. Gosh, I don't like this tint on it though. Wonder if I can do I have a color wheel? Not with an old EM1, I don't think I do. It's not. A mild cooling filter and see. Just want to cool it off. All right, that's better. Then we'll just warm it up a little bit more here. And then I'll call it here. Okay. Let that render out, do a before and after. So yeah, I think we can see that it's raining now a little bit better. And then the storm clouds look a little bit more stormy, right? With the clouds having a little more drama and more contrast all across, so you can really see the layers in the mountains. I think that looks pretty good. I'm not sure why. I don't know why it's showing the crop the same, but I did crop it to a 16:9. That's another thing that for some reason doesn't feel like it's showing the previous crop, which was 4:3. But I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is from Peter Oddie. And he used the EM10 Mark II with a kit lens, 42 f/18. Wow, that's high. 1/100th, ISO 1600. So I'd have probably shot this at like f8, maybe f11, if you really wanted to try to keep everything in focus. Because when you're focusing on something this close, it's hard to keep the background in focus without bumping the aperture, right? But I think f11 would have done it, and then you could have used the lower ISO to help retain more of the color detail and highlights. Because when you bump the ISO, you kind of kill the dynamic range and everything else in the image. So, and this is a JPEG, so it's already been processed by the camera, so I'm not going to have a lot of wiggle room. But I'll do what I can here. So first thing is I'm going to see if I can crank the gradation up to bring the shadows in. We need a lot here. Then let's warm it up. Let's use, oh, I don't have the dropper on this. Too much here. Yeah, a little flash fill would have helped, right? But it'd be hard to do to not make it look flashy because you're outdoors. So any flash is gonna make it's just gonna put some weird shadows on it. You'd need a full light setup like an umbrella and a really high powerful speed light. Okay, let's work with the tone curve a little bit. Right in here. I don't want to push the highlights. I just want to push the midtones a little bit more. It's almost like you miss focus because the statue is out of focus. Let's see if we can clean up some of the noise too. Oh, I don't have any filters when JPEG, so it's already been done. And compositionally, it's pretty good already. Maybe a vertical. Yeah, I think a vertical works better. Then we'll push the midtones again. All right, I think that's all I can do with a JPEG anyway. Let's do before and after. Yeah, I think, you know, I really like the landscape in the background. Maybe I should have stayed with a landscape view instead of this portrait view. But it is a portrait image, so to speak, right? And I would have probably done something more asymmetrical, like move the guy over to the right, like he's looking more into the landscape image. But when he's front and center like that, I think a vertical or portrait type style works better. But as a landscape, yeah, I would have moved him over to the right and captured more of the landscape. Like I would have walked over left, the left side, frame this guy more to the right, looking more into the camera, and then having the background. But the way it's framed front and center, I think portrait works better. Okay, just my opinion. Oh, Alexandris, no, you can't. If you're in video mode or recording video, you can't take pictures if it's in movie mode. And if you're in a photo mode like PASM, you can take pictures or record movies, but you can't record movies and take a picture while you're recording. That's been eliminated The EM5 Mark II, EM10 Mark II can do that, Pen F, but not the EM1s. All right, Lauren here says critique. So Lauren just would like a critique on this, no editing. And yeah, Lauren's images, I rarely have to edit anyway. Um, yeah, a little more white. Yeah, I agree, John, on that last one. But for Lauren here, I think this is a great composition. It really balances the person sitting there with the scenery. And I like how it's very soft in the background, but in a painted kind of way. It almost looks like a watercolor painting in the background. And yeah, I like it. I would have liked to have seen maybe just, if it was possible, some more detail here in the chair. Um, because the image is just a little bit heavy on the bottom right for me in terms of just balance. I always like balance, straight lines, all that kind of good stuff. But I really like the colors. And I really like the background, how it's very watercolor looking like. So maybe just a slight desaturation in the foreground. Um, and then a little more detail in the chair, and that's all I would do. But other than that, the composition is good. Normally I like a little more headroom and things like that, but the fact that you cut off the right side here a little bit, I think it's okay to cut off on the top a little bit here too. It's a good balance. So I like this. I like this. Canon RP full frame sort of paints the backgrounds. Interesting. I would have thought that'd be more of a function of the lens, doing that, the way it's rendering the background. I don't have an RP anymore to test, but I didn't notice this when I had the RP. I wasn't really looking for it either. But yeah, it's a nice shot, Lauren, and I think the color palette's very, very rich, which is fine. For this kind of shot, it works. Like I said, the only part here is just this is a little bit heavy. So if this were like some detail in here would have been good. Like if she was standing instead of sitting in a chair so that it wasn't here at all, that'd have been nicer, I think. All right. Yeah, a little more pastels maybe. I think, John, that could work here in the front because the background is very pastel-y, but then the foreground is very rich. But I think that adds to the depth of the image, really. In a way, it adds a color depth to it. I kind of like. So I would desaturate or just a hair less contrast or more detail here. All right, nice shot though. Let's go to the next one. And there we go. Critique only from DeMorcan. Gosh, this looks familiar for some reason. Any EXIF data here? I forgot to check on the last one. EM10 Mark II, 40 to 150 kit at f4, 1/320th. So setting wise, yeah, no issues there at all. And oh, I see you already applied some settings here. I love it. I really do. I think I'm just trying to think. I don't know what else I would do differently other than I would have liked to bring out the branches a little bit more in the foreground and in here. Usually clarity will do that. Um, that's so weird. Wait a minute. What? Oh, Workspace had a brain fart. I knew I saw that other image before. I think that is one I edited. Um, this is the actual image DeMorgan wanted me to critique. Um, and I think I saw this in my forum too, so it just needs to be straightened, really, about like that. I don't know what's wrong with Workspace, why it's doing all these weird things. It's not doing anything I want it to, really. So I would do a 16 by 9 crop like this, and then maybe come in. I think this is what would work for me, and I really like the pastels and fall colors. It's really nice. But that's where I would go with this. I wouldn't change much else. I don't know why Workspace is really acting weird here. Let me do let me check something. But yeah, that's all I would do, DeMorgan, is just crop in over to the right side of the image so that this tree is like on the right. And then all of the stuff in the foreground, the messy water and grass, just cut that out. Go to a 16 by 9. And I think this image works this way. Other than that, the processing is fine. Maybe just a slight pull this way. Not that much, right about there. Okay, that's weird. Look at, I don't know if you can see this, but see how Workspace, but yeah, all this grass is just weird down here. I don't like this, so I would just crop in right there. Let me see if I can fix, yeah, I saw it in the forum, this morning, I think. Let me, where's tools? I think Workspace has a cache in it. I remember edit. I'm sorry, bear with me a second. Tools, database, clear cat. Let me do that. Let me delete. Hopefully this will work. Okay. Let me see. Now if I do a before and after. Not really. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is from Randy, a critique only. Okay. I've seen this on your Flickr, Randy. You had a couple of skeletons kind of superimposed on this. For me, it's just too much foreground. And it needs a little less, it's a little dark. I would like it a little brighter in the midtones and less foreground. And then I would try and focus on like this this bush here is covering this mountain, so I would have probably walked over to the right a little bit so that this bush would be over here. And then I like the processing back here actually. This is not bad right here in the mountains. How the tones change a little bit. So for me, I would just push the midtones a little bit like this just to get it brighter. And then just cropped cropped off all of this in the bottom and gone this way. It's still too much foreground. Maybe just an ultra wide. So for me, it's just too much foreground. That doesn't do anything for the image. So I feel like a super wide, like a 16 by 7, and then the white balance is just a little bit off. Maybe just a hair warmer. And that's what I would do with this image. Now we have really good detail on the mountains right above me here. And then all in here too, you can see it's more distinctive, the changes in the tones. And then this bush is planted right off center, left thirds or whatever. Like I said, I would have walked a little bit to the right to get this over here instead of covering this, because this one mountain here is really interesting too. And that's what I would do with that. So there's a before and after. And Matt likes the original with the vast foreground here. I'm not a fan of that. I think this vast emptiness, no. I think just I don't know. I don't get that impression. But okay. Like I said, that's what I would do. Okay, another critique only. Oh, this from DeMorkin. I know I've seen this before, probably on the forum, but this is where I think you were trying to get that sort of 'cause I remember the post you made in the forum that you're trying to go for this certain look of sort of almost like a line art. I forget what you called it, but kind of like a line art painting. And and I think you're really close to duplicating that look that you're going for, uh, that you talked about in the forum. This still has a little bit too much detail, and I was thinking about trying to do what you were talking about in Photoshop. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I it did fascinate me the idea of getting this kind of look from an image where it looks kind of cartoonish looking versus because the art filter that gets you close or attempts this is this keyline 2, right? Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Keyline's not working too well on this, but compositionally, I think it's okay. It's a little tight on the left side here. So what I would do is I would just get rid of that left side. Maybe stop right about there. Because I never like gaps like this on the very edge of the frame. I've just never been a fan of that. So I like to fill the frame, and if rather than leave a tiny little space on the edges like you had before, um, this is what you had before, right? Rather than leave a tiny little space here, I'd rather crop it out for me. Because now I feel like the picture's cut off versus when you crop in, you're forcing the eye, I think, to just focus on the details in the center of the image versus trying to let your eye go off the frame into a space that's too tight. So I like this, and then this house here is not working for me. This part of the house. I don't know if it's a separate house or part of this one house. It it just needs maybe come in right here. Nah. The wide frame works best. Why is original come in? I think that's the only change I would make here. But I like this processing, how you got this to look kind of like almost like a drawing instead of an actual picture. And John McCormick says he's having trouble finding the center of interest. I think cutting off this corner on the left helps a little bit so that everything in here is kind of what this image is about. But I going to your point though, John, uh, it's almost like the more can focus so much on the process, on the processing, that he did kind of miss the composition part where there is a point of focus. So what I think what might have helped is this house here has some interesting windows here, and the steps here go to a door that you can't see. So if you can, I would have moved over to the left so you could see at least this door on this house and a little more of the front. So I never like to take pictures of buildings unless you can see the door. And then I bet right in here would have been the most interesting part of the frame, and you could have made the door like a bright red or a very strong color, whatever its natural color is. And that would have been a nice accent to the image and create that interest. Is I think that's where John is coming from, is there's no point of interest. And I think if you would have got the door of this house with a nice strong color on it relative to everything else, to me that would have made, not like a big splash of saturated red or brown or whatever color that door is, but just a slightly different color than the rest of the image, a contrasting color would have just made it a little more interesting right here. I think that's the problem. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, Dave Nelson. Wow. Oh man, it's cold. Let's see what we did here, EXIF wise. Oh, DJI Osmo Pocket. Oh yeah, one of my favorite cameras. I mean, I use this for work. I don't ever use it for my personal stuff, but that's cool. Let's let's see. So this will be a JPEG. Let me put my timer on. I don't know, monochrome. I think we can stay. I like this cool color. We just need to brighten it up a little bit. Let's pull this up, pull this down slightly. And then I'm just going to desaturate a little bit more. About there. I'm going to add a white vignette. I don't know if clarity is going to bring out the snow a little bit better. And compositionally, it's about right. It's a little heavy on the left. I'm going to experiment a little bit with the composition, but probably don't need to do much more. Nah. It's in here. Okay. Almost there. I want some of the, let's see the lines on the road a little bit more. Okay. Too much white vignette. Meh. Yeah. Maybe a black and white would make it. I like the blue though. If I did black and white, I'd have to throw in some dehaze. Let me stay with color. And I'll back off the vignette. Right there. Okay. I think that's what I'll do. All right, so let's do before and after. So I think the vertical helps give the depth. You know, again, I think the vertical works better here. When we were wide in the landscape mode, it was just too heavy on the left side. And you know, your eyes just kept going to the left, in my opinion, and not down the road. But at least now when we made it taller, your eyes go down the road instead of going off to the left. And you know, I think the blue and the nice cool colors look good. Maybe a little less blue would be better for me, but you know, it looks good like that, I think. So yeah, just a little contrast so you can see the snow here. But I think that looks pretty good. Okay. All right, Wolftick, we'll see you later. All right. Let's see what we got here. This is from Marced. Matt. He goes by Matt. I'm sorry, Matt's here, right? This looks like a film or a slide. Practica. Yeah, I used a slide film. Pentagon F1.8. Wow. 400 film. So this could be like a Kodachrome 400. Or not Kodachrome, but a Kodak color. I'm just guessing, of course. So let's do a quick crop. So it's a 3x2 frame. And light tilt. Is it Kodak? Okay. I thought it was. It's just a lucky guess, though. But Kodaks just feel warmer for some reason. I'm gonna straighten this out. And I don't know if we really need all this negative space here. I'd like to see the details a little bit better. And then let's pull in some gradation. Oh, hey, Jose, how are you? I'd like to see the packs. Oh, there's smoke too, right in here. All right, good. Let's throw in about a 4 on the sharpness. Now there's so little color here. There's really only one color, yellow. I'm debating if I should go black and white. I'm just not feeling black and white today. I don't know why. But let me Let me just pull off the yellow a little bit. It says lucky here. Funny. Get some clarity can bring out some of the speculars of the smoke. A little bit. And there's smoke in the rest of the frame, I wonder. I need to look at it again. There is some smoke up here. Wonder I wonder if there's a better way to crop this then. Hmm. Off to the bottom right. All right, that's it. A little bit cooler. Okay, whoops. Sorry about that. This button, and oh, that's right about there. Okay, let's do before and after. Okay, I'm not crazy about the crop, but that's pretty close. And then the only other thing I might consider is making it even grittier. Oops, sorry. But I think that works. That works. I didn't notice the smoke before until after, I started editing and I said, "Oh, there's smoke in the background." So there we go. All right. That's a cool shot. It's really cool to see some vintage images. I assume this picture is really old. Um, but okay. So we got one here from Image Writer. And this is taken with the EM10 Mark II with a kit lens, 28 millimeters f4, 1/115th. Wow. I don't get this, why it's so dark. You're at ISO 800 and 1/15th of a second. Shocking. This must be indoors or something because the shots are so dark. I mean, the settings just imply very dark, not enough light. All right. Let me tilt this. Let's see. By 3 vertical and by square. Got my timer. Uh, yeah, I guess I'll go with this. It's not, these are not real flowers. Okay. Do this with a low filter. Try pop art. Ugh. It's a slight gradation. Try auto. Need to make it warmer. Wow. What's this? Maybe. Man, this is really sensitive here. Why is the color this? You know, I bet this is image right, or I bet this is under like LED lighting, because the white balance is really struggling. The quality of light on these flowers is really bad. I'm really having a hard time here with the colors. Let me try one more time here. Let's back that off. Yeah, I agree, John. The bells are kind of cut off anyway, so when you look at it, you know, it's cut off down here. I'd like to get the whole this bell all by itself, but then there would be too much empty space up here. So let me, if image writer were here, I'd like to know what kind of lighting this was, because the lighting is terrible. You can tell when the colors are not right, then it's really bad lighting. I guarantee this was like LED lighting. Because even fluorescent lighting, you can kind of color balance and still get pretty good colors, but this is it's a little rough. I did the gradation. I pull this in. I'm going to leave it there. So there's a before and after. Yeah, compositionally, maybe I didn't choose the best. I'm just trying too hard to keep that flower in the right. I bet this image will look just as good without that flower. And then let's tilt it, rotate it back. Come up. Yeah. I mean, this is another way to go. So there's a before and after. This is just another way to go. And I think John Yutze was saying that it looks better with the bells in there. I agree. And this gets rid of a lot of the negative space that wasn't really helping much. I mean, I like the texture of the snow, but um, this kind of works. This works better. I was just trying too hard to save that flower in the top right, but in fact we didn't really need it at all. All right, let's go to the next one. See, we have a hawk here from John. A little, oh, it's a JPEG. I was going to say it's already been processed some. It looks like there's been some softening from JPEG, like the JPEG filter. I don't know if I can. What do we use here? EM10 Mark II with a 75 to 300, 1/1000th, ISO 320. Yeah, good settings. Really good settings. Let me try. If that's helping a little bit with the sharpening. And yeah, I think you nailed focus and everything. I would have just liked to have had the raw image so I could work the details a little better. Because now that I have a JPEG, everything's been sort of baked in, the sharpening and the noise reduction and everything else. And this is really natural color. I think that's all I can do. So, not much I can do. It's a great shot. It's just if I had the raw image, I could have worked the details and stuff a little better. But when I try to do details now, it just looks uh, gritty. Original is severely cropped. This is about 10%. Yeah, that's typical, of bird shots, right? You crop in. Uh, I mean, you still got good detail in and you nailed focus, but it was just, I'd like to try it with a raw file, but it may not have made any difference. Like you say, this is 10% of the frame. It says here we're at 2000 by 1500, so that's 3 megapixels. So we're looking at 3 megapixel image here. But yeah, it's a good shot. Um, see what we got here. Another bird image. EM1 Mark II with a 75 to 300 from Leon. 252, 1/320th. Ooh, you need to be faster on this. I would have shot this at ISO like at least 800 to bump that shutter speed. Plus 130 V or 1 1/3 EV. That's a good choice there. So yeah, good settings except for the shutter speed. I would have bumped the ISO to get a higher shutter speed. But yeah, nice. Okay, let's work on this detail first. This is from Leon. Okay, Leon, let's work on the detail first. Let's do that. That may be enough. Let's do. Let's try 1 pixel. Okay. That works. And let's do a simple square crop. So Add some gradation, then pull the blacks in. Let me see if there's any more color I can throw in. I mean, the bird probably wasn't this brown, but I think the pop art, I always like to use pop art on animals just to exaggerate the colors a little bit. And it's just too bad the background is so bright. Can't can't make it any darker without jacking up the rest of the image. Come back a little bit. That. All right, think I'm done. Let that render out. Do before and after, and voila. All right, so yeah, it's beautiful. I think you got lucky with the shutter because I don't see any motion blur. But man, I'd be sweating a little bit with motion blur at that shutter speed at that focal length and all the settings given. But I think it came up pretty good. And if we just look at it by itself, right, it's just a slight tilt and crop, right? And then lots of color. Okay. Um, let's see. Now, the ones going from here, I think, are really old. They were from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Let's see. This is from Ian. EM5 Mark II with a 30 millimeter macro at f5.6 1/80th ISO 4000. Wow, it's dark again. Man, you guys are shooting in low light this week. All these images have really low light type settings. Okay, now I can't do pop art because of the carpet. The pop art would have looked really good if the dog was outside or something. But let me show you. I'm just or let me look first. Yeah, it's making the blues too strong. Uh, so let's put some gradation in, and then we'll work with the tone curve to try to bring some of the colors back in. Dog. There. Gotta sit up straight. When I stream like this I have to sit up straight, otherwise my neck is gonna go again. All right, let me some sharpness. There. And a little bit torn about this Dutch angle. I'm wondering if I can just focus in on just right here. This square crop. So Hmm. Wear a neck brace. Yeah, maybe. I do have one. Ultimately, I have to change my posture. All right, I think I'm going to go with this. I wish the shadows weren't so. Reset this. I need to. And you can see the dogs. Okay, I think that works right there. I pull back the clarity. All right, I'm out of time. So there we go. So that's the before and after. So the main thing with the crop in is just to get rid of sort of the distracting elements in the background. And then I put his right eye in the upper right thirds, kind of rule of thirds. I would have liked to have kept his left paw there, but I don't think the framing would have looked good. I would have brought in all the chairs again. So just I think that works. And then the processing's okay. Just a little bit punchier, maybe a little more work on the fine details would have been good, but just a little bit here. A 1 and a 10. And that I think that does the trick there. It just makes it a little bit crispier. Yeah, that works for me. So now I'm done. So a little more detail because it's a little bit soft on the left side, right? So just manually doing the sharpening kind of just gives it a little bit extra, bite. Like particularly the steak and the fur around the eyes. Very soft over here, but I think this makes it just bite a little bit better, especially around the nose. Okay, cute dog though. Yeah, that is one happy dog, right, Matt? And who was that? That was yours, wasn't it? Oh no, Ian, I'm sorry. All right, this one's from Kilowin. Oh, this is a viewer edit. So let's put this into viewer edit for. Stop it. Hold on. I can't. I think I updated workspace this way. All right, that's a viewer edit. Okay, next one here. We have a church or a barn. And this is EM10 with a 25 f1.8 at 3.5 1 1000th ISO 1000. Yeah, you could easily drop the ISO back down to 200 and then shot this at like 1/200th of a second. That'd be the only change I make here. So turn off this noise filter. A lot of the settings here are baked in. See what the color profile looks like. Yeah, let's go black and white. And let's straighten it. There. And there. Ace. Hey, Roman, how are you? Okay. Yeah, maybe a 16:9. Let me work on this a little bit. Just need to get some of the details in. Interesting. Yeah, that's a little better. It's just a little tight on the back end here and kind of heavy on the left side. There's nothing here on the right to really balance it. I come in right there. Yeah, that helps a little bit. Okay. Nothing specular, but seeing if the clarity will bring out the brickwork a little bit. Right. Do before and after. Um, I like the processing better than the crop that I did. Just let's look at this full screen. Yeah, I think that kind of works. It's a little bit too gritty, maybe. So if I just back off the haze or back off this part of the curve, right about there, maybe. I think that works. Yeah, that works better. It's a little bit too gritty before. But now at least, you can look at the river, you can look at the brickwork. There's some detail in the sky now, some tones there. And then we don't have sort of that gap on the back, on the left side, over here, which I wasn't crazy about. So, oh, this is yours, John, but I think this works right about here. So there's the before and after. Yeah, I never like these tiny gaps. That works. Okay. Oh, look at these little piggies and a goat. All right, so this is a EM1X with a 12 to 40 F11 1/200. Why F11 though? Maybe, I guess F11's okay. I would have done like an F5.6 because the focal plane's not too deep right here, and we don't care about what's in the background, so I'd have shot a little wide open, a little more wide open. If we can bring out a little bit more color. And let's tilt it a little bit, not completely. Get rid of this tiny gap here. And get rid of that sort of the bush in the background. And let's add some haze. Pull this down. That's kind of negative. And just a little bit of warmth. Okay, definitely need some sharpness. I do that. Ah, that looks like crap. Stay with the pop art. Okay. Oh, Marcel is here. How are you? Oh, hey, Untitled. Yeah, you can send them in for the next live stream when I have it up, but there's a link in the description of the live stream that usually has that. It doesn't today because my live stream got messed up. But just subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification, and then you'll see it. You should get a notification when I do my next photo editing live stream. I usually do them on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, but I've had to back off a little bit because I injured my neck. I don't know if a white vignette or a dark vignette would help you. Be a little bit lighter. Okay, I think I'm done. This didn't need much. It's just kind of a cute picture with the animals. So basically all I did here was, warm up the image, get rid of this distraction in the background, and then cropped in and straightened a little bit. And I think that just makes for a tighter shot. A little tighter, a little cleaner. I think that looks good. Okay. See, this is another one sent in, yeah, February 8th. It's been a while. Oh, I like this bird right here. I like the icicles and I like this bird, but I don't know if I can do it all. EM1X 12 to 40 Pro, f14. Wow, that's high. What's with these high apertures today? Really, you don't need to go much above f8. I mean, there's times when you need to, but in a shot like this, you don't need to be this high. 0 EV, that's fine. depending on what you wanted to capture, because this is all silhouetted, but okay, let's work with this. I gotta work on the crop first. I think there's a way I can keep that bird in this door. Or I'm sorry, not a window. More interesting over here. Let's do it this way. I really like this window and this bird, but I can't get both in framed correctly. That's close. A little bit of a skewing error too, but I'll leave that. All right, let's go with this framing. Let's give it some sharpness. Get a little more. That render in. Oh, seriously? Come on, render. All right. This line is down. I need to fix this skewing error. It's kind of bugging me a little bit. See, I need to make this side a little thinner. Side. Making it worse. I'm sorry. When you know how I am about getting lines right. How did this get crooked? I had it right. All right, close enough. Okay. Now let's work with the tone curve. I like these muted colors though. I can save some of that. Let me try dehaze first. Really silhouette this bird. A little bit of clarity. Here. Not crazy about this framing. Ah. Tighter here, a little. Okay. Oh, I know what to do. Do monochrome, then split tone it. This snow here is a little bit too blue. Let's add a little bit, just a blue in the highlights. A little bit of green. I like that minty color. Hmm, not. Oh, yeah, that blue. All right, so I gotta stay with monochrome. Okay, let's do a before and after. I've spent way too much time on this image. It needs to render. It needs to render out and get some of the detail back, but I wish that snow mound wasn't there on the bottom right. It's just killing the image. I'd have liked to got this bird with the one window. That would have been perfect. And you know, I don't mind that it's silhouetted and all of that, but it just that window with the bird would have been a perfect combination. Just this big pile of ice. And then looking elsewhere in the frame, I could have framed this one window. That's about it. But these twigs and things are just too distracting. Whereas, you know, when you have a bird on a twig, it's okay. Okay. Um, that's my final edit. And let's see, here's one from John Follows. Beautiful landscape. What did we shoot with here? EM1X, 40 to 150, f2.8, f4, 1/2000. Yep. All good settings. I might, yeah, this is tough. This scene is very high dynamic range. Um, there's a you know, you have to bracket these kind of shots because this is blown out and this is too dark in here. And the sky is about right. So it's like the camera exposed for the sky, then everything else got, you know, these got balanced out to be blown out and clipped. Uh, okay. I'm not sure what to do here because this water is blown out and these are too dark. This is a tough shot. This is gonna be a tough shot to frame. Um, if we get rid of most of the water, let's go with maybe this. Oh, sit up. I don't know if there's enough color left either, really. Oops. Ah, this is hard, hard, hard. Let me see what's down here. I got 1 minute left. Hmm. No, stay with black and white. A green filter. I'm gonna bring out some more tones in foreground. Okay, almost there. All right, out of time. Let's see. So, man, I like the foreground of the trees better than the sky. Although it's giving us some, almost see some God rays in this image. And then the colors were just not quite there. There's just too much haze. So I decided to go black and white. But that said, I think there's still a color image here potentially that can be done. I just don't have enough time to really work with it. I think just a quick and dirty black and white, I think that works. Because there's so much haze in the upper part of the image, I couldn't really bring the tones out in the mountains. So I just decided to go back to the bottom of the frame where there's a lot more interesting things going on, even though the water is blown out. So again, this is the kind of shot you really have to bracket and merge and kind of do an HDR to get it to look really good. But it's not bad as it is. It's a beautiful scene. Okay. But yeah, I think that looks all right. There's a lot of interesting things here for your eye to kind of look at versus up in here. All right, let's see. We have a squirrel. Another one from John. This will be an easy one. You know, animals, I just do pop art, right? And then let's straighten it out. And just crop in, square crop. This is what I always do with animal shots. And let's vignette it out of 10. Work with the tone curve, we'll just push it up a bit here. Whoops. Backed it up, hold on. Oh, you like the black and white, John? Good. I'm glad you liked it. From the previous image on the landscape. And whoops, dang it. Did I accidentally hit the tone curve? I did. That's fine. Give it some sharpness. Oh, I didn't notice that. I mean, they would have been tiny anyway, even if they were there. Probably wouldn't have been able to see it. And going on here. Looks like okay, I think that's it. Maybe just make it a little warmer. Try 6,000. 57. Okay, I think that's it. Let's do before and after. Let that render out because it looks kind of smudgy, but there's actually some good detail in the feathers and the fur once that renders out. All right, very good. I think that looks really good. Very easy edit, you know, not even about 2.5 minutes. And you can kind of go from that to that. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks good. Full screen it. You know, we got a little bit too gritty if you get up really close, but on a normal size, that looks good. If it's too gritty, you just go back in here and just dial this down a little bit, and that'll be okay. All right, let me go into Lightroom real quick and see if there was anything else that was non-Olympus, because Olympus files show up in Workspace, but nothing else. Yeah, I need to go to a second. Okay, synchronize. Give that a second. Go down. There we go. Add. I need to do this one. This one. I've done this one before. Still here. Please do that one. Okay, so just a couple more. This one here Panasonic from John Yutze. 1400 to f4, ISO 200. Yep, looks good. Settings. Let me just click auto here. And we'll do auto here. And let's do I don't know what to do here crop wise. Maybe yeah, that works. I'm not cutting anything out uninteresting. Boat front and center. Okay. More lights. I forgot my timer and I can't see your comments. Let me fix that. Hey, Mark Landert, good to see you. Okay, so where are we? It's a little bit weird looking. I don't know if I should. I think I'll go the other way. Give it a little texture, and then let's punch the colors this way. I wish I could get these. Oh, let's fix some of this noise first. Here. Here. And I need to just want to. The window panes are a little bit soft. I mean, that may be the way they are. Let me try this way. Nah, that looks goofy. I like doing this way. I can brush it. Have I mean, I know the windows aren't the subject, but I really like them. Shadow. I wish I could bring them out a little better. I guess that's it. The windows are a little bit soft. And Form out the image overall. And pull off the shadows a tiny. The midtones are fine. The highlights, pull those off too much. Okay, I'm out of time, but let's see. Get a virtual copy. Set it. Compare. All right, there's the before and after. So yeah, just a tighter crop. We didn't really need to see all this brick and the rest of this building here. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but not enough. And I wanted to, hold on, it needs to render. Give it a second. There we go. I think that's a lot more interesting image. Then of course, you know, a little bit of you know, keystoning and stuff, which Lightroom handled automatically. But I think that looks good. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, is this, oh, that's a dude. I thought maybe it was one of those statues. That's a real guy. Okay, so this is already pretty well done. Who is this from? This is, oh, let me close this. This is a Nikon V1 from Garrett. Okay. 1/125th f2.8. Yeah, that's fine. Just throw this guy 4x5. And just put his nose right on there with the mic. So now the mic is in the third, his nose is in the third. And let's click auto. It's not going to do much, but I don't know. Let's go very gritty. So God, this is a really cool image. Beat the hay 30. It almost looks like a painting now. And a slight tilt this way. So the bottles are kind of straight. More grit. Okay, I think I'm done. This is an awesome shot. Let me see if I can work with the white balance just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks good. All right, I'm done. So copy, reset, compare. All right, there's the before and after. I mean, it's a really cool shot, but I just wanted to exaggerate everything by making it kind of crispy, right? Now we can really see the textures in the painting behind him and all of the dust and everything on there. I think that looks pretty good. That's not bad for a 2-minute edit. Let that render out. Yeah, that looks good. Man, that's a cool shot. That's definitely a keeper. I think this was Garrett, right? Yeah, Garrett, good job. That's an awesome shot. All right, let's see. What do we got? Some Jeeps. Not Jeeps. These are Land Rovers, maybe. Oh, that's a fake me out Mercedes. I don't know what they are. Just a bunch of interesting trucks here. Oh, you like this, Shaddix? Thanks. I try. Let's develop this. Who is this from? This is from Dawood. Okay, Dawood. I don't know what these are. Canon EOS M100 at f9. A little high on the aperture, but okay. Um, and let me just click auto and see where everything is. And let's sharpen it up a bit. I'm not even going to worry about the composition yet. Mask out some of that. Not much color noise, but we'll take a little. All right, what am I going to do with this? There's just too much going on here. There's a dude sitting in there, but then there's this thing. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I'm going to go. It's the main public transportation in the Philippines. Okay. I like these open backs with this guy sitting here, but then the rest of the frame is very mundane from there. Just look at this for a second. All right, I'm gonna go with this left side. Ugh. Just I can't find a composition here. You get the whole row. 16 by 9. And then the sign. Dang, Dawood, I don't know what to do, man. This is just a snapshot. There's hard to really get this to tell the story, or I'm gonna go with this side. But I like this dude sitting in here too. Maybe this side's better way to go. I think I'm gonna go with this side. It's that this guy in the, putting him on any compositional line just doesn't make any sense. So I'll leave him there. And Mess with the colors. More with the sharpness. Yeah, super wide. The only problem is if I go super wide, we won't see any details. I'm trying to get something. Even when I'm cropped in this tight, it's hard to see much. I'm gonna go right there. Ooh, okay, that's all I can do. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't, I just could not make anything out of this. Oops. So there, the image on the right, the one I edited and cropped in, the guy sitting in there is just mildly interesting. The Jeeps all lined up on the right side is also interesting. But it's too many Jeeps. It's too wide. I feel like you need to get in way closer. I don't know how I would, honestly, even if I was there, I don't know how I would compose it. I'd probably stand right here and get get the just the front of all these Jeeps like in the frame, right? They may not allow you to do that, right? They'll be like, get away from me. But I would have stood right here and got all of the front of the Jeeps in this way. Or I would have framed this guy in the one Jeep by himself somehow. But just taking it all in at once is interesting in that, it's a nice snapshot of a memory, but compositionally, it's just I can't think of any way to deal with that. So that's what I would do is this. Interesting though. So these are Jeeps converted, huh? From World War II. Interesting. All right, last one here. Let me see. This looks familiar. Oh, no, it doesn't. Wow. Look at that. What are those things? I don't know what these things are. Fascinating though. Who sent this? This is Fujifilm from Marcel. Wow, it's really interesting. Yeah, good settings. I think Fujifilm base ISO is 160, so that's the only difference I would make. But okay, so there's a sidewalk here. What's this? Some dude standing there. A little bit of a barge over there. Hmm. So if we go super wide, rid of that barge, those people up there. Hmm. Oh, this guy. Crop him out too. Looks like devices used to hear enemy planes coming in during World War II. Oh, it's for listening. Oh, that's interesting. But these look a little bit too new. They're very well maintained if they're from World War II. All right, let's straighten the horizon a little bit. And let's warm it up. And a little more contrast, a little texture, clarity. Ooh. Fujifilm colors. Not like the dehaze. Leave that alone. And this is a raw image, so yeah, Lightroom's not great with Fujifilm, so I hear. And I can tell when I was working with it, I'm like, something's just a little bit off. Okay. Uh, Pull off a tiny bit of color noise, tiny bit of luminance noise, throw in some sharpening and mask it down to just that. Yeah, all right, I'm done. So let's create a virtual copy. That. All right, so there's the before and after. So basically crop in and warm up, then, sharpen to taste, right? It's nice. Really nice. I think, yeah, Fuji makes really nice colors. I can see the Fuji colors in this image. I don't know what it is about it, but you can always tell, not always, but you can kind of see it a little bit. This is better than yours, Marcel. I can't believe it. You're like one of the best editors I've ever seen. But yeah, I think that looks all right. This was your image, Marcel. Okay. Oh, the XH1. Man, I almost got that. Whoops. Almost got that camera myself. Okay, let's look at the viewer edits. And this is the original image here. So this is at the Green Spring Gardens. I went on a photo walk with the photo club this weekend on Sunday, and I got this shot. And what I liked about this shot was, I mean, I didn't like this shot too much, but I did like some elements of it. I liked a little bit of ice here with leading lines, and I liked the snow kind of framing the image a little bit on the right side, but I don't like the left side. I didn't do a good job over here. So uh, that's the original raw image. So let's see what you guys did with it. And just put a star. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. Look at this space shuttle back here. I don't get all this green over here. This green and blue is crazy. But wow, who did this? This guy, I don't know. John? Let me see. Steve Page. I should have known. All right, Steve Page did this one. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is not bad. Nice 16 by 9 crop. A little bit low on the right side. Kind of missing the leading lines of the ice going into the gazebo here for me. But yeah. But I get it. You got rid of all the God, I forgot what was over there. Yeah, you got rid of all the snow and everything on the right side. So this is just a different way to look at the scene, right? From John Follows. Okay, John. I see where you're going with that. I get it. It's still well balanced overall, right? And then this one, I like this. This is this is just centering the gazebo right into the frame, but keeping most of the elements that I kind of saw with my eyes. You know, this one leading line here and the snowbank here framing the image, and then just the rest. So you cut out a lot on the left side, which I think works. This is not bad compositionally. The processing's a little bit muted though. The muted greens and stuff. That's an interesting way to go. Let me see what this Omar. Oh, Matt did this. Okay, Matt. Um, yeah, I get it. Centering the image. I'd have brought the shadow detail up a little bit more, but I like the muted colors and stuff. Wow, this is weird. This is like a painting now. So the framing is pretty much the original framing, but this looks more like a painting. So I like it though. I bet this is Surge. Surge does a lot of things like this. Oh, Colin. Wow, I haven't seen Colin in a long time. Good job, Colin. I like this edit. It's almost like an oil painting now. And this is the original raw image. Yeah, this is the original raw. Okay. I'm gonna guess Surge this time. I don't know why. I should stop guessing. I never get it right. These brown tones in the winter time just is weird to me though. That I think if we cropped out the snowbank, this would work better for me. But with the snow in the image and then having all these browns just throws me off a little bit psychologically. Image writer, okay. Yeah. I think if there was no snow, this edit would look a lot better. And oh, I like this. Nice clean 16 by 9, nice and bright. Good work on the details. You know, look at how the water, you can really see the ripples and everything now. A little bit cool on the right side versus the left, which makes sense because it's in the shadow, but then I think a graduated filter with white balance would have balanced the colors a little better. But see, you caught this leading line here with the ice leading up to the gazebo. Definitely caught that part of it and got rid of the snowbank altogether. It was a little bit heavy on the right. That's true. Oops, I forgot to see who did this one. This was from Kiloan. Okay, Kiloan, good job. I like this edit. Um, and this one, oh, this is cool. You know, I've been into white vignettes lately. I'm surprised the black and white works so well here. A nice grainy black and white with white vignette. I think this works too. You know, it just kind of ignores all of the details here and just focuses on the overall balance of the image and I like how it's really dark in the middle. This is an awesome edit. I think this is my favorite so far. Okay, Garrett, good job. This is like my favorite so far. I haven't seen them. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is nice. This feels like a Marcel edit because there's some light painting going on here. As you'll notice, the shaded area over here is a little bit warmer and brighter, and then the bright area over here has been darkened. But then you kept some nice highlights up here. And John says, I thought the snow was messy and diverting. Clean snow is okay. Yeah, I get it. I get that. But yeah, this is really nice. I like this edit. Yeah, I knew it was a Marcel edit. Marcel is easy to spot, right? Because he does a really good job light painting. Only if you saw the original image. If you didn't see the original image, you might not appreciate the work that goes into editing like this. Okay. Ooh, another black and white, but this one is interesting. How did you do this? I bet this is DeMorkin because DeMorkin's been kind of getting into that pencil art type editing. So this has that feel to it. I like it. I like this editing too. Let me see. Oh, another Marcel. Wow. Okay. This is pretty solid. Pretty solid. I'm debating if I like this one or one by Garrett better. I don't know. I like them both. I'm leaning towards this one, but yeah. Okay. Oh my God, what happened here? This is like really compressed the dynamic range of the scene to almost just black and white. Very few midtones. So it has kind of a your eyes are drawn to everything except the gazebo almost though. I'd have liked to seen a little more light on the gazebo, but I think this is an interesting approach. Let me see who did this one. Surge, okay. Ooh, excuse me, coffee's wearing off. But yeah, this is an interesting edit too. And there's some definitely some light painting going on. You know, you caught the line here and a little bit of the snowbank, but it's hard to tell if there's snow or if it's just because you compress the scene so much. It's an interesting edit. Ooh, look at this. This is okay. This has got to be DeMorkin because this has definitely that pencil art feel to it, and this is a good crop. A little bit, asymmetrical here on the gazebo, and a nice, really nice. I like this edit. See, yeah, DeMorkin. I knew it. I got one today. Um, Good job. But I called out DeMorkin's name earlier, so it kind of cancels itself out. Okay. Wow. I bet this is DeMorkin again. I don't know how you got this. This is like smudging with a brush and paint shop, right? You're kind of just, wow, you spent a lot of time on this. This DeMorkin again? Yeah. Wow. This is interesting. I like that brush effect where you just kind of brush everywhere. That's pretty cool. And oh, this is a good clean edit. Yep, kept a snowbank, kept the gazebo in front and center, and then went vertical. I would have never thought of that personally. A little bit of pink or something up in the top right corner. Maybe it's an optical illusion, but it feels like there's some pink. Um, I don't think you've seen this particular gazebo. There's another gardens park that I go to, John, that has a similar gazebo, but it's not the same one. I'm pretty sure I haven't taken this one before. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, who did this one? DeMorkin. Okay, DeMorkin, good. I like this vertical. That's that simplifies the image quite a bit to just basically the water, gazebo, and a tree. Whereas before it was the wide crop was kind of too much sometimes. And then this is it's got kind of a vintage feel to it. All the colors are muted and yellowed. So I think a little more yellow would be in order here because it's a little bit too sepia the way it is. So a little brighter, a little bit brighter yellow would have been nice. Okay, David, good job though. I like the crop. The 16 by 9 crop here works. And put the gazebo, it's not quite center, it's just slightly off, but that's okay. Um, yeah, Kilo and Meadowlark Gardens has a similar gazebo, but that one's out on the water. Like it comes out on it's like on a pier. It's at the end of a pier. Okay. Um, Yeah, this is nice though, Dawood. I agree there with DeMorgan. Very different feel or edit to it. And then this one, this looks a little bit like my, I'll show you guys my edit of this image. Um, I like this. I really liked how you separated all of the colors out. And and then just let me punch in a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't render. I have to punch in. It looks a little soft, so I had to render it. But I like how you separated the colors. And then left the lighting pretty much the way it was. There's not much editing on the lighting. So this is a clean, this is a good clean edit. Who did this one? Serge. Okay, Serge. Good. Good job. All right. Oh, that was the last one. So um let me see if I can pull my edit up real quick. I think I put it on Flickr this morning. Ugh, it's so sad. Let me bring it over. Man, it's okay. This is my edit. When looking at my edit now after seeing all of yours, I'm like just so disappointed. My edit just is terrible. Basically, I did a soft focus kind of look to it and did my best with the colors. I didn't, yeah. Ugh, not great. Um, oh, the lens, what was this? This was a where's the raw image? This one. Um, this was a I used the 24 millimeter f 2.8 vintage lens from it's a Zuiko. It's an Olympus Zuiko 24 millimeter f 2.8 from the film days. The OM mount. Where's my camera? Oh, it's up here. So I adapted this 28 millimeter Zuiko lens um to the to my Olympus. Pretty compact lens, right? It doesn't stick out too much on this Pen F. And then most of the images I shot at f5.6. That's kind of the sharpest point for this lens. And then whatever the shutter speed was, and ISO 200. I think I used auto ISO. I don't remember. Um, Jonas, yours didn't come through. Let me look. Let me look. This one? Oh, okay. There we go. Nice. Oh, wait. You can't see it. Here we go. Um, yeah, that's really nice. Nice square crop. Really gets rid of all the clutter in this image. Because ultimately, everything in this image was just kind of too busy, right? The snow was very busy, like I think John was saying. And then all the trees didn't have leaves on them. So I think this really just simplifies the image a lot. I mean, the subject itself is not that interesting is the problem. It's just a gazebo. But I think in terms of editing and composing, recomposing this shot the way you did, I think is excellent. Um, and then the processing on the colors, yeah, really good. A little bit too brown for me, but yeah, I think it's a really good edit. Um, so yeah, I got it. That's the right one, right, Jonas? Is this one? Yeah, Joni Pendleton. Yep, that's you. Oh, it's nice. Okay. I just want to make sure I got it from you, right, Jonas? That's the right one. I don't know why the chat messages seem kind of slow today. But anyhow, that was a great session, guys. I really appreciate you editing my picture the way you did and then sending in your pictures for me to edit. Hopefully you liked a few of them that I did. I certainly found a couple images. I liked the final edit. I thought that one with the guy, what was he doing? I think, God, my favorite image today had to be that last one with the dude. Where did that guy go? This one. Yeah, that's not even my edit. Where's my edit? Yeah, this one. Man, that's awesome. He's holding a microphone. Oh, that's cool. Who did this one? Garrett. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, Garrett. Um, but yeah, these are all great images, except the one with the Jeeps. I had a hard time with that one, but all right, you guys have a good weekend. I will be back on Sunday. My battery's dead anyway, so um, let's I'll try and do another photo editing session on Sunday. We'll see. I'll try. Hopefully this time slot works pretty well, but I'm either way, I'm going to do a live stream, but I'm not sure I can do a second one with photo editing. But thanks again for spending time with me today. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys again soon. Have a good weekend.